Well, I know what you're thinking, Vika. It's so cliche to film such a video, but please forgive me because I don't have time now for creativity and to give you something incredibly unique. So let's go through the things that I only own nothing of, don't buy, and usually don't own. Most of them I don't own, and maybe you'll find some ideas of things that you want to declutter or have less. Well, the first thing that I don't buy and don't use is perfumes. Why? Because I hate actually the smells, the really hard smells. I don't buy any perfumes because I do not enjoy the sound of it. There's a renovation going on at my neighbors, I'm sorry. But okay, if not neighbors, then cats. If not cats, then my husband makes noises, so let's just get used to it. Perfume is something that is very popular here in Ukraine as a gift. I don't know why, but in my life I have given perfume several times to my mother, to my sister, and it's such some weird thing that people usually gift to women here in Ukraine. I don't know if it's common in your area, but here we have something like that. It's just, who likes this weird hard smell in the metro station that you have nowhere to run from? If you use perfumes, please don't use it too much, because you know, people right next to you should breathe, right? Next thing I don't buy most of the time is red meat. First of all, well, the excessive amount of meat is obviously bad for you because you don't want to get any heart diseases, right? But especially there are some correlations found out in the scientific sphere between the red meat, the consumption of red meat, and the cancer, which is not like something certain and concrete. You cannot say that this affects this, but there are certain correlations are found out now, so I decided that this is something I don't want to invest in, at least. If somebody just treats me with red meat in some dish, I will probably not refuse that, but it's just I don't want to invest in such things. Sports clothes. I don't have any sports clothes. It just happened so that I love leggings. Can I say that I have sport clothes if I just like leggings and wear them at home? Other than that, I don't feel the need to buy any sports clothes. Basically, you can wear whatever you want that is comfortable for you, that you can move in to do sports. So if you are on a budget like me, then probably you should refuse the thought of buying something only for a specific activity. Why do I need a tank top to do sports? I can use just a t-shirt. I can use this one. I can use nothing. I can use my underwear to do sports. I can use any shirt in the world, so why would I buy anything else? I know some people use it for the mood, the special mood that sport clothes is giving them, but it's just, for me, it's not valuable enough to invest. Sports clothes are expensive, actually. The next thing is watches. I've had a watch, and there's a story behind it. I actually had a boyfriend at some point of my life when I was a teenager. This was not serious, this was just, you know, a teenage love, nothing special. But the mom of that boyfriend was like rich, and of course she didn't have a boat or something, but she was upper class, obviously. She decided to invite her son, which is like my former boyfriend or boyfriend at the time, I don't remember, to Dubai. Why not? Why not invite and pay the vacation to Dubai for a bunch of people? I don't know. She's just so kind. She took us to Dubai and she bought me a watch that cost like more than $1,000 that I would never be able to afford. She just bought it for me and I used it for a couple of years. But other than that, I did not have watches in my life after that, and I don't have them now because I just love my hands to be bare. I even refused to buy wedding rings, or how do you call this, engagement rings, because for me it's just uncomfortable. Face masks. I truly believe that this is one of the things that doesn't work. The same as many skincare things that are out there in the world, produced every day. Face masks are probably a great action of self-love and so on, but I don't find the value in them as much as they cost. And I believe that this is an absolutely useless expense if it comes to a person who wants to save money. So I don't really think this is a good investment for me. So I don't use any face masks, cotton pads and Q-tips. Q-tips is actually a word that I've recently found out, and that's so weird that it's called this way. We call them cotton sticks, which is for me super logical, but Q-tips? How come did you come up with this word for this object? Okay, I don't use that. I don't use cotton pads and cotton sticks, let me call them this way, okay? Because cotton pads are for what? For rubbing your face, right? Or for rubbing your something. But you know what? You can use just your 2 fingers and rub something instead of using a cotton pad. But of course it makes sense for people who use makeup. I don't, so I don't need any cotton pads. And when it comes to Q-tips, you know what? We are not supposed to clean our ears. Yeah, we have the same doctor for these 3 things: for your ears, for your throat, and for your nasal construction. All of them don't recommend using Q-tips for your ears, and it's so common in where I live to use them for these purposes, and it's so not beneficial for you because the liquids that are in your ears are actually useful for your ears and make the dirt stay apart from your audible system. Okay, I really need some new English words to learn. This is why I stopped using Q-tips and instead I now use my pinky. That's enough for you and me. My pinky. No, for you your pinky and for me my pinky. Hair products other than my shampoo. Shampoo is the only thing I use. I know that there are some hair types that need some conditioner or moisturizer or any special materials for the hair. It's just I don't need them. I don't use them. And it's also a nice thing for me not to buy and save money from. So I'm really glad I have such a hair that doesn't need anything other than my shampoo. And also I have a shampoo bar which actually is the same shampoo just without water. Did you know that your liquid shampoo could be like that if it just didn't have water that comes from your tap? Which is super comfortable, especially if you go traveling. You don't need to have the whole bottle of your shampoo with you, it's just a small bar. Also, during the transportation, it doesn't use this much of transportation energy. What's this called? Like oil and diesel? I don't know, we have diesel. Because it takes more little space, you know? If you have 10 shampoo bars, they take the same space as 1 bottle of shampoo, you know what I mean? I don't use paper towels. Why would you ever buy anything to use only once if you just have cloths, different pieces of fabrics all over your house? All over your house? Or it's just me who has a lot of pieces of fabric around my house, so I just use them instead of the paper towels that I could buy and also spend money for. So it's just one more thing that I just don't spend money on. Cloths. Cloths. That's a hard word, right? But I don't buy clothes. You know what I do? I just have some of my worn out t-shirts that I take and cut them in different pieces and use this as clothes. So if you're trying to find a way not to buy something, you can try not to buy any additional cloths and just make them out of your worn out t-shirts. So it's an absolutely unnecessary expense for me. Shower gel. I don't buy shower gels because my husband buys it. And also I have soaps. I don't really need to buy any shower gel because I actually use something soapy for my skin, for my body only like once a month or once every 2 months, because my skin doesn't make that much oil to use shower gel on me every day. And if you don't produce that much oil as well, so you might try to refuse to use shower gel as well and see what happens. I'm pretty sure that nothing will happen. Journals, magazines and newspapers. I don't find use of them. I am probably more of that generation that already didn't have the opportunity to try many of the magazine experiences. Though I had a subscription in my childhood of a nice child journal. It was amazing, but actually I didn't read it. I only did tests there, cut the pieces of paper, made some crafts out of it, you know, it was a nice subscription. But now I don't use this all, and I'm pretty sure that most of you do not read newspapers and magazines anymore. Please tell me if you do, because this is a rare thing, you know? If you enjoy something like a nice newspaper in the morning with a cup of coffee, that's probably a nice experience. It's just I don't feel it. But if you are that rare person, please leave me a comment and tell me about this. I don't buy sugary drinks, and I decided that this is something that I will never, I will try never to invest in, because this is not good for my health, this is not good for my budget, and actually whenever you want to drink something sugary, something like soda or sparkly waters, I don't know, try to drink just the usual water. Sometimes we are just thirsty and we can confuse this with the feeling of wanting to buy something sugary. There were times in my life when I just drank it all the time, but then I stopped at some point and I've never drank it since then. I can make a few swallows, but it's super rare, and it's something that I'm not addicted to, so I don't need to buy it. Loans. I truly believe that consumeristic loans are a purchase, because you buy the possibility to pay later for something you buy with money, with your own money. You pay money to be able to use something right now. So this is why I think this is a purchase. This is something that my mom taught me. We were a very Christian family. With my mother, my father was not a Christian. And she taught me that, not she, but the Bible taught us that we shouldn't have any loans, we shouldn't owe anything to people except reciprocal love or something like that. There was a verse in the Bible. After these words and after this was something that was taught in my community so much, I am quite grateful for having that decision instead of me not to buy the loans, not to have loans, not to owe anything to anybody. That's a very unpleasant feeling, at least for me, to owe something. The next thing is a car. It's something that I don't really need in a big city with a good transportation, with nice connections between the parts of the city. I just don't need it, and I believe that most of the people in my city don't need this. But it's just something that I can live without, definitely, and it's a very extra expense that will definitely exist only to raise my quality of life. It's definitely not a basic need here, so this is why I don't really think I need it. Statuettes. To be honest, I hate statuettes. They are just objects that are gaining the dust. That's it. I don't see them a different way. So probably some people are enjoying them, especially if they are decoration piece and make space really more beautiful, but for me they just clutter the space. I'd rather have something that is useful and can make my space more beautiful, but without this first point that it has to be useful, I will probably not buy it. Then creams. I am not buying creams. I haven't been buying creams for a long time. Creams for my body, for my hands. I haven't been buying creams for such a long time because just people give them to me for gifts, as gifts. So I don't really need them, and my skin is not like that dry in the winter, even in my climate where we have winter more than 3 months, that I have to use them. I just don't need to use them. Okay, the skin a little bit dry. Okay, what's wrong with that? It isn't itchy, it isn't like red or super inflamed or something. It's just a little bit dry. I have some parts of my skin just getting out, or making the dust at my home, but I don't feel like it's a problem, so I don't use creams. The next one is subscriptions. I don't have any subscriptions, except I have only one subscription. It's a charity subscription for some charity organization. It's fighting against the women's discrimination and violation against women, and I see this money going there, and I feel like some woman is probably feeling better because of that. I don't know, it just makes me feel right. You know that the most of our charity actions are not actually for people, they are for us to feel good about us making good for people. I've heard about some research in that these actions are actually making us happy, and this is why we do them. It's not only some altruistic urge. Pads and tampons, I don't use them because I have a menstrual cup, and since you know how to use it, I think there's no way back. I had a really cheap menstrual cup that didn't fit me, that was just bothering me, and at some point I was thinking that cups are not just for me. I'd rather use pads, but for some time I was thinking that it's not for me just because I tried only one menstrual cup. It was super cheap without any certification and didn't fit me well physically and mentally. But when I switched for a better option, it definitely became a solution for me instead of pads. Nail polish. I haven't been dyeing or like painting my nails for 3 years. I remember that I was with my nails polished at my wedding, and after that I don't remember that I used it. Nail polishes are something that I don't buy and don't pay for as a service. I think it's a nice way to save some money there. Like, it's not a necessity, right? And it's just I do not enjoy it. If you do, perfect. I do not enjoy it. I feel like this pinky beige tone of our nails is really beautiful on its own, so why would we all the time want to cover it? I don't know. And the last thing is makeup. I know that of course women are perceived a little bit differently with makeup and without makeup, so I know that in some areas it's necessary to use makeup. It's just I'm lucky and privileged to have such a job and such a surrounding, such an area that doesn't require this much makeup from me, and I feel comfortable without it, though in my teenagehood I didn't feel comfortable without it because I had pimples, you know, this teenage acne or something like that, so I couldn't not wear makeup. But now I feel absolutely confident. It was a great amount of work to do for me to become confident without makeup, and I did it. And if I did it, you can do it too. If you are using some of the things that I listed, and great, it's just for me these things do not work, and maybe it can be some ideas for you if you are like me, trying to save money and trying to have your space a little bit more clutter free, then probably some of these options could be for you a good motivation. Please hit the like button, leave me a comment about what you don't use and don't buy that most of people around you buy. If you want to find some more ideas about the things that you might not need and want to declutter, then go ahead and watch these 19 things that I suggest you to think of decluttering. Have a good day. Goodbye. I don't